y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all, make sure you tap that subscribe button. You can also catch me over at Zonify and you can catch me at sweet929.tv. Okay, we've got that business out of the way. Teen Mom OG is back, y'all. It premieres on Tuesday, September 7th at 8 o'clock on MTV. And in the house today, I have joining me Cheyenne Floyd. She is one of the cast members. We're going to talk about what we can expect this season and just check in and see how she's doing now that she's a mother of two. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss today's show. Hi, Cheyenne. Welcome to Check the Rhymes. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm great.
Well, Teen Mom OG is back. What can we expect this season?
Oh my gosh, way too much from my life personally. This season I was pregnant. It was the end of my pregnancy, so I was huge and moody. But I had a lot of high moments. I have Ace, I get engaged. But it was definitely a lot of highs and lows for me.
Well, speaking of, you were pregnant during this pandemic. What was that experience like? Because I've got friends that have talked about it, but I'm always curious as to everybody's different experiences. Like, was it, comparing it to when you were pregnant with Ryder, what was the difference?
I'm naturally a homebody, so I was really okay with staying home. But the hard part were the doctor's appointments, and this is Zach's first experience having a child, and he was kind of robbed of it. He wasn't allowed to come into doctor's appointments, and it caused a lot of conflict between us because he felt really left out unintentionally, and there was nothing we could do about it. COVID's caused a lot of, questions that are up in the air. I really feel my heart goes out to anyone who is pregnant during this pandemic because it's challenging mentally, physically. It's a lot to deal with.
Right. And is there a way to make, the father feel included? Even I just don't know. Can you do FaceTime? How does that work?
Yeah.
Is there a way to do it?
Right, we would FaceTime, but FaceTime only does so much, right?
Yeah.
So we would FaceTime throughout my appointments. He would come to every appointment and just sit in the car, maybe a little moody most of the time, but he was still there. We would FaceTime, and I found a few ways to surprise him to make him feel more included, in which you guys will get to watch in this upcoming season.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. So speaking of your kids, they are beautiful. How are they doing?
They're good. Ryder just started preschool, and Ace is 3 months, and he is healthy and strong, and it's just been such a joy to watch my babies grow, and Ryder's the best big sister, so it's been good for us.
Oh, good. So you're we all heard about the surprise engagement. So have you started planning your wedding, or what, again, we're still in a pandemic. So how is that even going to play out?
So Zach and I both come from large families, and I just knew there was no way that we could have a small, pandemic wedding per se. So we've started planning. It's not going to be until the end of next year. We finally locked in a venue and a date, so I'm really, really excited to start the process of planning. I love parties and events, and I feel like this is the ultimate one. So I'm probably going to be a little extra.
And you deserve to be.
Right?
So if you can have your dream wedding, what would that look like? I'm sure even though you're still in the planning stages, if you could just, off the top of your head, your dream wedding, what does that look like?
My dream wedding, well, first off, it's going to be very expensive. It's all white. There's so many flowers everywhere. I definitely want landscape and views. I want multiple outfit changes. I want really great food, an open bar, a nice dance floor, live entertainment. I'm feel like I'm planning this all talking to you. So, it's been a lot of fun. it's been way too much fun, and I feel like I've personally dreamed of my wedding since I was, I was one of those little girls who would play dress up in wedding time. So I'm just excited that, it's finally happening.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So what, and is Ryder helping plan? Because, I just imagine in my head a little girl is also like, I want to be a princess for the wedding.
All Ryder is worried about is what she's wearing. And as long as it's more grand than myself, then she'll be happy.
That's hilarious. So, how do you balance being a mom and, co-parenting, working, you're a businesswoman, like, and you've got to, you're engaged, and how do you balance all of these things?
I genuinely take everything day by day. I have a ton of support from my family and help, and I think without them I would have already gone a little crazy. But balancing, with co-parenting, all that is really good communication and transparency, balancing between being a mother and working and co-parenting. It gets hard. I have great days and I have days where I'm like, what are we doing? Like, can somebody get my head back on? But it's all, a lot of communication and forgiveness and giving myself grace and giving others around me grace.
Well, how do you handle, with your life playing out on television, and then you've got people that are sitting at home watching and getting on their computers or on their phone and putting their opinions out there about what they're seeing on TV? How do you handle that?
That, I would say, is one of the hardest parts about being on TV, is that you open the door for people to have something to say, whether it's positive or negative. And I have times where, it's easy for me to brush off the negativity, and I have days where I need a little bit more reassurance from my children or my fiance or my parents that, I'm okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I have to sometimes put my phone down or turn the TV off or stay off of social media and not read the negativity. My sister's a little protective, so I know sometimes she sneaks onto my accounts and will delete the negativity before I can even see it. So we kind of have a good system.
That's good. That's good. And speaking of, I came across an interview you did with popculture.com earlier this year, and there was a comment that really stood out to me. I'm going to read the quote to you. You said you were talking about like people just kind of, I guess, asking if you're pregnant, when you're going to get pregnant. And even, I'm just going to throw, even though I'm not sure if you were even addressing this as well, the body shaming. So you said it's just really important that we respect each other's bodies and each other's wombs and let people announce when they're ready. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Can you talk to me about that? Like what brought that on, and how do you even handle people commenting about your weight and all that stuff?
Before I announced that I was pregnant with Ace, long before I announced that I was pregnant with Ace, I had people basically telling me I was pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And, as a woman, that makes you second guess yourself within how you look. I'm like, am I gaining weight? Is it that obvious that I put on a few extra pounds? And at the same time, people didn't know that Zach and I were trying. And it wasn't happening, on our timeline. So it was hard to hear all these people telling me that I'm pregnant when they didn't know that, it was a difficult situation in our household, and that it took a little bit longer than we expected. We thought, one time bang, we'll be good to go, but it didn't happen like that. Right. So it was tough to deal with. And I just really think that women should acknowledge other women and what they're going through and leave the questions alone. Let people tell you. Don't ask, couples who are just recently married, when are you going to start trying? Because you never know if they already are, So I've learned a lot being pregnant myself and now going through postpartum. The whole body shaming thing is like a whole another thing because I have baby weight that I'm still trying to lose, and I think sometimes people are so accustomed to this new snapback culture, and I didn't snap back like that. So I've honestly stayed off of social media lately because of the negativity.
Well, I think you look amazing. So,
I know that
I wish I could talk to you a little bit longer, but Teen Mom OG premieres on Tuesday, September 7th at 8 o'clock on MTV. Thank you so much, Cheyenne, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.